Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques,
Hulk,
Jacques.
Hulk.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are today. We have the LA Chargers, man, going to LA. For those that have not subscribed to our channel, man, go ahead and do that now. Hit that like button. Check us out on Bleacher Report. You can actually just download the app, follow the Titans. You'll see us on there as well. Follow us there. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're everywhere, man. So, Jacques,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to LA. Going to the game, man. I'm gonna be throwing up the West Coast sign, West Side, jamming some pop to NWA, Dre and Snoop, Warren G, DJ Quick, all that, man. Maybe some Nipsey Hustle or whatever. I'm gonna be West Coasting it for real, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
man.
dope. Wish I
Yeah,
can go this time, but hey, we got next year, man. So,
yeah, for sure, dude, for sure,
yes,
man.
sir.
So cool. All right, so Jacques,
Yes, sir.
let's get on the show, man. All right, so as we all know, man, the Tennessee Titans play the LA Chargers. The Chargers had a game last week against the Cleveland Browns. They won that game 27-10. Cleveland's offense was absolutely horrid, terrible, and they got the loss. And so the LA Chargers, we are going all the way to the West Coast to play the LA Chargers. The Chargers are a 7-point favorite in this game. So, Jacques,
Yes, sir.
given what you've seen, man, about the Chargers, bro, give us some reasons why or how the Tennessee Titans can beat the LA Chargers.
All right. So I'm gonna give you two things, two reasons on offense and defense. Defensively, man, their interior is not strong. You can definitely put pressure on Justin Herbert. They're not a world-beating offense. I think you mentioned this before, but they don't I think they're averaging like 20, 23, 24 points a game. So that's around our ballpark when it comes to the Titans, right? Um, so on defense, man, manipulate that interior, and you want to get Justin Herbert turning the ball over, right? We got lucky last week where we were able to have two turnovers, right? And luckily coming from Amani Hooker, so shout out to him. So create those turnovers and stay in plus territory when it comes to yardage, and let's try to score points and get on the board a little early and play strong defense. On the offensive side of the ball, man, run the ball. Just again, the run offense seems to be working. Yeah, I mean, they've been pounding TP, and TP has been doing amazing. So just keep running the rock, and then occasionally when you do see the pass open up, get Calvin really involved early, like you've been doing. And the important thing is once you get in the red zone, score points. So that's my two ways of how we can beat the Chargers. What about you, Hulk?
Thanks, no paper, Jacques, man. Great points as always. So I look at the Chargers, man. I think overall the Chargers offensively, I've watched 4 of their games, and I really looked at opportunities and looking at the Chargers offensively. They're not really a dynamic offense. They actually run a simple offense, and I'm kind of shocked. They don't really, they run the ball a lot with J.K. Dobbins, who's had a hell of a season. But overall, man, they do a lot of play action, and they like to throw the ball deep to Quentin Johnson, and they'll throw inner routes to Ladd McConkey. That's just their offense. That's what they do. And so I think our defense is good enough to stop that. And I think we have an opportunity to put sort of a cap on the Chargers in that regard. And I also think, too, when I look at them offensively, though they run the ball well, I think we stop the run so well, it's really going to be on Justin Herbert. And Herbert is a good quarterback, but they're not really a scary offense. They're 23rd in the league in offense. They do not score a lot. You know what I'm saying? They might throw some yards, but they do not get the ball in the end zone. And they really depend on play action, deep passes as well to get the ball in the end zone or to run J.K. Dobbins till his legs fall off. And so that works well in our favor. So we could keep them, where I've been saying teams who could beat us is by scoring points against us. This could be a game where, there's not a lot of points being scored, and that could give us a chance to win. On the opposite end as well, too, man, when I look at this game, as far as the Chargers defensively, for us, I think offensively, we might have opportunities to run on them. Their run off defense is pretty good. It's pretty good. But I think on the outside, when you look at, us running the ball, I mean, I think Tony Pollard could have a hell of a game against the Chargers, man. And And I meant to mention this as well too. Their offensive line on the left side. I know we talked about Joe Alt. He's been doing his
Mhm.
thing, but Rashawn Slater on the other side has had struggles against speedy defenses. So I'm hoping Jeffrey Simmons and Arden Key can do that. I meant to add that earlier what I was saying, but I think on offense, I think we be able to play ball control as long as we don't turn the ball over, man. We could beat the Chargers. They're beatable. They're beatable. They have a 5-3 record. They're beatable, man.
All right, how can we lose to the Chargers?
Well, I'm going to say, as I mentioned earlier, we have to watch out for play action. We got to watch for Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson's had a resurgence of a season so far. And so I'm going to show you all a clip of this play has happened three games in a row. They look for Quentin Johnson on the outside every game on this play.
Taken to wearing the headset helmet.
You know, Diabate, the second-year player stepping into some big shoes. Herbert wide open is Johnston, and he is in. Touchdown.
So I say that because we have a new safety out there. Quandre Diggs is injured, out for the season with the Lensfrack injury. So, our defense has to don't be antsy, don't be nervous, stay home. If we are, and we go for pump fakes, because J.K. Dobbins runs the ball pretty well, they will throw the ball deep, and we will lose this football game. On the other side of the ball, the Chargers are number 8 in the league in defense. And a big reason of that is their pass rush. On the outside, even the last game, they had 4 sacks in the first half. They was all over the place. And you look at Jameis Winston, who might be slightly more athletic than what we have in Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is going to be in positions. He's got to get the ball out of his hands. If he doesn't, they're going to come for him. Players like Morgan Fox, Henley had a really good game. The inside linebacker there as well. Khalil Mack is still out there. Those guys get to it. So if you look at this play here, you'll see this is the 4th sack in the first half. They get after it, man.
The route details and even some of the throw details, just not where it was.
Winston protected here on 3rd and 11. Pocket muddies. Winston going down again. Second sack for Morgan Fox and number 4 for LA's defense.
So you see there, man, hey, we have to be very careful on our offensive line because Lloyd Cushenberry's out for the season as well. So they could try to manipulate that on the inside, and they're coming through. Their defense, they sit, man. Their DBs sit, and they do a hell of a job. They do not allow the ball to go deep, man. They do a great – the former Titans and everything, they do great. So they're coming after us, man. So that's how we could lose to the Chargers, man. How about for you, man?
Oh, man, when I look at the Chargers, man, I look at a team that's coached very well. And Harbaugh has them boys very disciplined early, too. And this is his first year coaching them. Justin Herbert doesn't have world beater numbers, but he's efficient. He's still 65% when it comes to completion percentage. But that's still, you want them over the 70% range, but he's still solid, right? I think he has 10 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's balling, bro, doing his thing, okay? Now, their leading receiver is not Quentin Johnson, even though he scored a point in every game. It's actually Ladd McConkey. He has 444 yards, bro, I think, on 35 receptions. And I got a quote there, about 35 receptions. The Joker's solid, 4 touchdowns. So he's one of those rookies that you got to be careful. J.K. Dobbins has 620 yards. He's having like a comeback season. So if you're not careful, like you said, on offense, man, you could turn around and run the risk of letting not just Quentin Johnson get behind you, but Ladd as well. I remember we talked about them, I think, in the earlier part of the season where we were kind of joning on them a little bit because they didn't have big-name receivers. Hell, if Josh Palmer's even balling, right? He's doing – and I'm not going to say balling, but he's been efficient enough to where you can say, okay, hey, we have a new secondary. We don't have the starting secondary we started with when we started in the season. Now you have the rookie out there. You have McQuarrie. You have, like you said, new people out there. And, if you play DB or you play the secondary, miscommunication is reason why those big plus 50-plus yard plays happen because of that. And I can only imagine throughout a whole week that those players that are they're new in the secondary has really come up with some type of communication process or whatnot. So you definitely got to be careful from that. And then from a defensive perspective, bro, like you said, that defensive line is balling. Bud Dupree, man, out of all people, Bud Dupree, right? It's balling, okay? When it comes to Elijah Molden, he leads them in interceptions, dog. He has 3 interceptions, okay? 3. Let that sink in. So like you said, that secondary likes to sit there. They do what they do, but y'all starts up front with the pressure, specifically on the outside. So that's how we can lose to them. Allow them to get loose it's a wrap, right? Allow them to get up. And I think they beat the Browns 27-10 on Sunday. So we don't score points like that. So you do not want this to get out of hand fast. And another point, we haven't won in LA ever. So that's another factor that goes into play, right? Are there going to be jet lag when it comes to traveling? You see what I'm saying? Even though the game starts at quote unquote 3 our time, Central Time, but it starts at 12 Cali time. So is your body still adjusting to the 12, the 2 hour, 3 hour time difference? I think it's 2 hour time difference. What are you going to do, right? So that's the ways we can lose this game, man.
Gotcha. So when we did win in LA, that was against the Rams, not the Chargers, right?
Yeah, it was against
the game
Rams.
that Kevin Byard had a big interception. Okay,
yep, it was against the Rams, and we have not beat the Chargers in LA, man. For some reason, we cannot. It's like a pain. Last time we played them, when the McCrary had that nice, I think, pass in interception, we still couldn't beat them.
Yeah, understood.
They're a pain, man.
Understood. Yeah, they are, bro. So speaking of that, man, so if a Charger fan is watching our show, they probably don't know nothing about the Titans. So is there a player on the Titans that you feel could have a really big game against the LA Chargers?
Man, I'm going TP. I'm going TP again, man. TP has been very efficient when it comes to the run game, man. And I think that joker's averaging about 4 to 6 yards a carry, killing it, man. So watch out for TP, man, because the way he's been running on defenses has been crazy. And then on defense, man, I'm going T Sweat, man. Jeffries had his big game, and I feel like this will be a good game for T Sweat to kind of go crazy in the middle. What about you, Hawk?
Gotcha, man. So I think in this game, I think offensively, and this is gonna be a wild card here, dude. And I'm gonna tell you, bro, offensively, I think the Chargers struggle in zone defense against the tight ends. And David Njoku had a hell of a game against them, despite the offense being terrible. I saw a lot of wide open routes for the tight ends. They paid a lot of attention on the outside. And though they sit there, they do back up. They don't play a tight zone. It's a very loose zone. And they run a 3-4. So the opportunities are there for Chig or Josh Wiley to do something. Chig, Josh Wiley, one of y'all do something, man. Step up. The opportunities will be there for you this game. Step up. I think defensively, expect Jeffrey Simmons to act the clown, man. I think something is sparked with him. I know there's a lot of trade rumors out there. It's like, look, man, if that's what's going to be the case, I'm going to go out here and ball out. But I'm going to say that's not the case. But Jeffrey Simmons played crazy last week, and I really like that. You know what I'm saying? And he's got this is a better offensive line group than what we played against the Patriots. The Patriots suck. They're trash. But I do think Jeffrey Simmons will have an opportunity against the Chargers, because the Chargers do give up quarterback sacks. Myles Garrett had that game. The Browns, who are trash, the Browns defensively got to Justin Herbert. They did. Justin Herbert got sacked a few times. So those are my players, I think.
So give us a player or players from the Chargers that you think will have a good game.
I think, man, I really think we have to watch out for Quentin Johnson, the receiver number 1 for the Chargers. I think that, he is a guy, they really try to get him the football. They're making a concerted effort to get him the ball. And though Ladd McConkey gets most of the catches, they're very short routes. He catches the ball. The man can catch. He did that in Georgia too. But we have to be careful with new safeties out there and those things. We have to be careful for Quentin Johnson for sure. And then on the other side, watch out for Elijah Molden, man. This guy here has been playing lights out on defense. He knows the Titans. He has a lot to play for. Those are the guys I'm looking at, man. What about you, Jacques?
Man, so on offense, I'm going Ladd, man. Again, he's one of those rookies, man, that's being productive. He's not a Quentin Johnson where he's going to beat you over top, but he's efficient enough to get you those possession first downs you need. And then when he gets in the red zone, he's pretty solid too. So watch out for Ladd. And then for me on defense, Khalil, man. Khalil Mack has 4.5 sacks right now. And I think teams forget about him, to say the least. And on that right side, if he's playing on that right side, he can definitely manipulate that right side. So that's for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Jacques. Yes, sir. Yep. So we know in this game, Jacques, there's a lot of transactions that took place with the Chargers, right? You have a lot of former Tennessee Titans on the Chargers. It's unbelievable, actually. And we know lately, whoo, We saw D-Hop doing the Remember the Titans dance, doing this, doing all that, right? Doing that. Derrick Henry being the MVP of the league right now. A.J. Brown still doing his thing with the Eagles. So former Titans
Malik
have left
going
here, and they really are clowning those guys. And
Yeah.
even for the Chargers standpoint, these guys have been incredible contributors for the Chargers. And I'll name a few. So we got Elijah Molden that plays for the Chargers, leads them in interceptions to your point. To almost to a point, he might be a Pro Bowler, man. That's how well he's playing. You got Christian Fulton, who out of that entire draft class was the best player in that draft class, and none of them guys are on our team anymore. He was one of the last man standing. He's been a starter his whole career. He's doing pretty well with the Chargers and changed his number and everything. He got to change number. All of them have changed their numbers, except this guy, Bud Dupree. You got Bud Dupree. He's out there as well, too. And, you have Hassan Haskins that plays a lot, and you got a starting D tackle in Tier Tart. You know what I'm saying? So, Jock, how do you think these former Chargers will do, man?
Man, I actually think they'll do an excellent job against the Titans, man. Again, when I go down and I look at this list, man, this is crazy. Molden leads them in interceptions, but this is just sick. Tierra Tart has had an interception. Christian Fulton has had an interception. Bud Dupree has had an interception. Interesting. Bud Dupree has had 3.5. Actually, has 3 sacks on the season. The production. What production did we get out of them when they were here? Right. It's the same thing. So I think they'll do very well against us. Like it's inevitable, bro. This is what happens to us. It's just is what help. Elijah might have, I don't care who's at quarterback. The Joker might have two more interceptions to add to that stat line. Bud Dupree might get a sack. Tia Tart might get a sack. So I think they'll perform very well. And I'm not going to go in there cocky. I'm not going to go in there joning or anything. I'm humble right now. What about you? How you think they're going to perform?
I think they'll do well, because our offense doesn't really. We haven't been dynamic on offense, though. We played better last week. The Patriots suck too. I think, man. I think Fulton and Molden will make the biggest impact on the defensive backfield because Fulton of all of them starts, so he's gonna get some. He's gonna be out there more than all of them. But Elijah Molden has been the most productive. And they got Elijah Molden playing everywhere. Free safety to nickel back. Wherever they need to put him, he plays linebacker. So he's all over the field. So I think he will have the best game of those guys. And, I expect – I agree with you, Jacques. One of them guys will get a sack. One of them. At least Tier Tart or Bud Dupree will find a way. And then they're going to celebrate like they won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? That's what former players do. They play a little bit amped. And Christian Fulton even had something to say today on Twitter. You know what I mean? So he's definitely amped up for this game. So I expect them to do well. I don't know, say if there's a game breaker, it would be Molden. But we'll see. We'll see, man. Hopefully they don't. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Nah, they gonna. I'm expecting it. It's like you said, you don't have hair. I expect a former Titan to go off. It's actually happened. Hold on. Bayer didn't get to go off on us. Malik went off on us.
Right.
This happened, man. It's just history. That's just history is going to write itself. It just is what it is, man. So I just think that, and for some reason they're healthy too. That's another thing that's kind of curious.
Yeah, right. Ooh, you cooked it right there. Facts, no papers, y'all.
Molden has never been as healthy, so I don't know, man.
Yeah. Christian Fulton too, man. Bud Dupree too. T.R. Tart's always been out there, but those guys' hamstrings was made out of shoestrings.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, man. So
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man. So, well, cool. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say thank you all for watching the show, man. Again, the Tennessee Titans do play the LA Chargers in LA on Sunday. Make sure to watch the game as well. Subscribe to our channel at Tennessee Titans Weekly if you haven't done so yet. Hit that like button. Subscribe to us as well on Bleacher Report. You can follow me at Lorenzo_the Hawk. You can also follow Jacques at Jacques Merrill. We're on Bleacher Report. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7 and on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly, man. We're in those internet streets, Jacques.
Yes, sir. And when you do follow those platforms, please cut your notification bells on. It lets you know when we go live or post any content. That way you don't miss anything that we post out there. And Hawk, enjoy your be safe. Enjoy LA, man. Give LA your all. And hey, let's get to Sunday, man, and tighten up.
Tighten up, man. Tighten up. All right. Well, listen, as we always say, we hope you all have a great rest of your week. As we always say, and as we always do, Jacques, facts.
No paper.